Let me ask you this. In
Well,
2024, David Calhoun, that wasn't a question, I'm just quoting you. In 2024, David Calhoun, who's your executive at the time, got $32.8 million in compensation in a year. $32.8 million. That was a 45% increase over the previous year. At that point in time, your planes were literally falling out of the sky in pieces, and you weren't paying your workers. Is that fair?
Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Freedom Forge, and today we have got a doozy to talk about. We're reacting to this absolute circus of a Senate hearing where Missouri's own senator is grilling Boeing's so-called Chief Labor Counsel about the 3,200 machinists who are on strike right now in St. Louis. And let me tell you, this thing is infuriating. If you haven't seen the footage, I'm going to break it down for you because it tells you everything you need to know about how the corporate globalists and their buddies in D.C. treat the American worker and why our country is in the mess it's in. So buckle up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to all of the nominees. Thank you for being here. Mr. Mayor, let me start with you. I represent the state of Missouri here in the Senate. In Missouri, in the city of St. Louis, there are 3,200 machinists, a little bit more, who are currently on strike. The overwhelming majority of these folks are Missouri residents. They're striking against your company. You're the Chief Labor Counsel. What do you think the fair outcome to this dispute ought to be?
Thank you, Senator, and good morning. Let me start by saying I'm not here as a representative of Boeing.
But you're employed by Boeing.
Yes, sir.
How many years have you been employed by Boeing?
Just over 3 years, sir.
Mr. Mayor, is your microphone on? If so, could you pull it a little bit closer?
Sorry, my first time here. I've been with the company about 3 years.
So my question is what do you think is a fair resolution to this dispute? And we've got 3,000 plus Missourians who are currently effectively out of a job. They haven't had a significant wage increase in years. They need to be able to afford to pay rent, to put food on the table for their families, get their health care. I mean, is your company going to do right by these workers? You can understand why I've got a significant interest in this. This matters a lot for my state. It matters a lot for these workers and their families. There's a lot of people.
Certainly, Senator, I agree. It matters a lot. It matters to our hardworking employees, our hardworking the members of the IAM. I know the concept of fairness is an elusive one. What I will tell you is that the union and the company reached an agreement at the end of July. I'm not, as I said earlier, I'm not involved in that negotiation.
Well, I mean, is the concept of fairness you say is elusive? Let me ask you this. In 2024, David Calhoun, that wasn't a question, I'm just quoting you. In 2024, David Calhoun, who's your executive at the time, got $32.8 million in compensation in a year. $32.8 million. That was a 45% increase over the previous year. At that point in time, your planes were literally falling out of the sky in pieces, and you weren't paying your workers. Is that fair?
Senator, I'm not in a position to comment on executive compensation.
Well, you're the Chief Labor Counsel.
I am the Chief Labor Counsel.
Were you involved in the settling the machinist strike in Seattle, I think it was?
Yes, Senator, I was involved in that negotiation.
Okay. Do you remember what the contract was you finally gave the Seattle machinists?
I remember parts of it. I can't.
Wage increase, 38% general wage increase over 4 years, plus the option of a $12,000 one-time ratification bonus or a $7,000 ratification bonus and a $5,000 401k contribution. Does that sound roughly correct?
That sounds roughly correct.
Okay. Why wouldn't you just do that for the folks in St. Louis?
Senator, every negotiation is different.
Well, plainly so, because what you're offering to my constituents is a fraction of that, and I guess I just don't understand why. I mean, is it that what's different about the folks in Missouri?
It's not a question of difference about the folks in Missouri. It's a question about.
You just said a minute ago, fairness is elusive. I mean, it does seem to be elusive for the Missouri strikers.
Senator, fairness is a matter of what the parties ultimately agree to. Again, as I stated earlier, the union and the company came to reach an agreement. The union felt that the agreement that we reached at the end of July, and
which the workers didn't ratify, right?
This is all public.
Here's what you've offered currently. You've offered Missouri workers a wage increase that's 16% below what you offered the Seattle workers. You're offering them bonuses that are thousands of dollars below, $8,000 or $10,000 less, with far fewer other benefits. I guess I just don't understand. I mean, what's different about these Missouri workers? I mean, there's only 3,000 of them, although that's a lot of people. It was 33,000 in Seattle. I mean, how is this going to end? Are we going to get to a fair resolution here where these workers get paid on terms equal with other workers at your company across the country? Or are these folks going to be permanently replaced by non-union workers?
Senator, there was an offer on the table. The employees voted it down, as you stated.
Right. That was months ago. I'm asking about now. What's going to happen going forward?
The employees are engaging in protected activity of striking, and ultimately the parties will negotiate a deal. I don't know how it's going to end. I'm not.
I mean, do you think it would be fair for the Missouri workers to be paid what the Seattle workers are paid?
Senator, there are a number of factors that come into play with how employees are paid and the general.
My time has expired, Mr. Mayor. I'll have more questions for you. I have to tell you, with 3,000 plus members of residents in my state on strike, unable to work, unable to get health care, while your CEO is getting paid $30-some million, that fairness may be elusive, but that doesn't look like fairness to me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
First, let's get the facts straight. Over 3,200 hardworking machinists, most of them Missourians, salt of the earth, middle-class Americans, are out on strike against Boeing. Why? Because they haven't gotten a real wage increase in years. That's right, folks. They build the planes, they keep the company running, and they can't even afford to feed their families or pay for health care. Meanwhile, what's happening at the top? Boeing CEO David Calhoun just raked in $32.8 million last year. That's a 45% pay hike for a guy whose planes are literally falling out of the sky. Remember those headlines? Pieces coming off in flight, safety issues left and right, but the top brass, they're cashing in. Let's just pause there. If that doesn't make your blood boil, I don't know what will. Now, I know some folks on the right, and I count myself among them. We believe in free enterprise. We believe in rewarding hard work, taking risks, and building great American companies. But what we're seeing here isn't a free market. This is corporatism. This is the globalist elite stuffing their pockets with obscene bonuses while the people who do the real work get scraps. And then, when they get called out in the Senate, what do? They send some lawyer who's only been with the company 3 years, who can't even say he represents Boeing, and he dodges every single question. Fairness is elusive. Are you kidding me? I'll tell you what's elusive. A straight answer from any of these suits. Let's talk about those contracts. In Seattle, machinists got a 38% wage increase over 4 years, plus a fat ratification bonus, $12,000 or $7,000 with another $5,000 for retirement. That's how it should be. They did the job, they got rewarded. But in Missouri, they're being offered 16% less, with bonuses $8,000 to $10,000 lower and fewer benefits. Why? Because there's only 3,000 of them. Not 33,000? Because they're Midwesterners and not West Coast? This is how they treat the backbone of America. Let's not kid ourselves. This is all about power. The company thinks they can squeeze these workers because it's a smaller group, and maybe they think nobody in D.C. will care. Well, I care. And every American who believes in honoring hard work should care. Now, before anybody thinks I'm about to go soft on union bosses, don't worry. I know how these union leaders operate. Too often, they're in bed with the same corporate suits they're supposed to be fighting. We've all seen it. But here's the bottom line. When American workers are getting shafted, it's our duty to call it out, whether it's the union bigwigs or the corporate oligarchs doing the screwing. What we need are honest negotiators who will fight for their people, not sell them out for a quick photo op or a cushy retirement gig. So what do we do about it, folks? Here's what I say. It's time to wake up. It's time to stop letting the Wall Street crowd and their cronies in Washington treat American workers like they're disposable. I don't care if it's Boeing, Ford, or any other American company that's happy to rake in profits while selling out their own people. We need to bring back accountability. We need to demand that companies who get rich off the backs of American workers pay those workers what they're worth. And if they don't, fine. Let's see how far they get with non-union replacements who don't have the skills, the experience, or the pride in their work. Let's get back to basics. Reward the people who show up, work hard, build things, and keep this country running. Not the suits who fly in for a meeting, collect a bonus, and fly out again. If you're as fired up as I am, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share this video, and tell your friends what's really going on. We can't count on the mainstream media to cover this the way it deserves. It's up to us, the patriots, to stand up for our own. And to those Missouri machinists out there and workers everywhere, keep fighting. You've got supporters all across this country, and we're not going to let the elites sell you out without a fight. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless you. God bless the American worker, and God bless the United States of America.